Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seats. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, man. I love it. How's Cowboy Cook doing today?
He's doing pretty good today.
I know you've had a lot of stuff going on health-wise and lost a loved one and all that. We're glad to have you back. We missed you, man.
Yep.
I can do a program, but it ain't the same as having your partner here.
Right.
So far we've did running backs. We kind of did it a little different order. We did the running backs first, and then we went to the quarterbacks. Well, we're going to dive into wide receivers tonight. And in a second, Cook, I'm going to put an overlay over us, and we'll be looking at receivers, and I'll pop it back up and down a little bit as we go. I again, a composite of rankings. I put some extras in there that I didn't do. I think on running backs. I think I did a little bit, but I added some.
Yep.
This I wanted to say, Cook. I've never seen a wide receiver group as deep as what it is right now in the NFL. I mean, some teams have three basically stars, and every team has somebody really good. When you look at the list, it's no wonder why Philadelphia or somebody like that's doing great with the people that they have on that team. And there are some teams that need to do better. But like every year, there's always those people that come out of nowhere. I mean, man, you don't even draft them in the first round or two because you're not even thinking that, and all of a sudden they explode. And Nakua was one like that. I mean, I didn't see that one coming.
Wide open.
Oh man, so he's on the list. He's very high on the list. So again, we're going to pull up the list. Welcome to SFP Sports. We kind of just jumped right in. I didn't do my announcements. I'm Dave. This is Cowboy Cook. And we're excited to be here with the Southern Fried Podcast. This is our Saturday night sports edition. We're going to be here all every week, Saturday night. We're going to be talking NFL, college. We'll talk baseball. We'll talk whatever. Right now we're doing some fantasy football. Who knows? We might have two programs. We might have to do fantasy football updates, or maybe we'll combine it. But I do want it. We'll get in and talk about college football, some of the games. We're going to put our teams up. We're going to show how we're doing each week. In the fantasy, we're going to show our league. We're going to do a week by week prediction of how we think we're going to do and other teams are going to do. Me and you'll just see how we do on that. We'll get some. I guess we'll have to have some sort of a winner. Whoever has the best record of their picks, and then we'll have to have something for who gets in the playoffs and who wins it all. Congratulations to you. I mean, like I said, after all those years, you won the fantasy league Super Bowl, man. Way to go, man. You just plugged away year after year. I think you learned over the years to not go so much with your heart, but to go with what you see is really going on. It's tough sometimes because you really do like those players. So sometimes you have to put the home team to the side and go for another player. But in your case with Dallas, there's enough talent to get people.
McCaffrey had so much talent, I had to go over 100 for him. I know that was hard to do, but it was fun.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Let me go up here. Let's get our overlay up. I just loaded this thing up, and we're going to look at wide receivers. Let's start going down the list, and here we go. Should be popping up there. There we go. Our SFP Sports Fantasy Football Wide Receiver Edition. Look at number one, Cook.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one, and we're Dallas is trying to get him signed to a long-term deal. I think they're going to get it done.
So.
You've got to have that guy, man.
If you don't have him, you're starting all over it.
I mean, honestly, when you look at and there's some great players on this list. And really, there's probably a couple here that could challenge him. But when you look at projections, and again, their projections, he really has got a comfortable lead in some of the projections. And some of that just comes from he gets the ball so much. I mean, he's well over 100 receptions. There's several that do that. but he is well over 100 receptions. He gets the touchdowns. He gets
Yes.
the yards. This guy might challenge for 2,000 yards one day. I mean, I could see it.
I hope so.
So is
This
he number
year,
one on your? Is he number one on your list?
absolutely. Well, number one, CD Lamb, go Cowboy.
CD Lamb, go Cowboys. So on your fantasy teams, you can't go wrong with CD Lamb. Number two, Tyreek Hill. He's still all world. His numbers are excellent. He challenges CD on everything really. The projections are his receptions will be a little bit lower. And I get Dallas does go to Lamb a little bit more. Tyreek is that big break guy, man. He will get the tough yards, but he's the guy that breaks it down the field, busts
Yeah.
the defense, and runs it for a long touchdown. Maybe
Oh,
leaving
yeah.
KC dropped
Dude.
him just a little bit, but Tua and him have a nice thing going on, and I'm completely comfortable with Tyreek Hill being at number two. He is on my team. I am blessed to have him on my
Yeah,
team.
boy,
So,
you sure are. You got him at a good price, too.
well, some might say a steal.
Yeah, total steal.
A steal. I'm not even going to say what it was. It was such a steal.
Oh,
But
yeah, it's embarrassing.
well, got him a little bit later in the draft, and people were looking at different things, and I said, well, I'll take him. And
Yeah.
I'm a Kansas City fan, so I love Kansas City. I just love. Um, I just love. Sorry, I'm trying to get something done here
That's
real
okay.
quick. Whoops. So just forgive me for just a second. I'm trying to
You're
keep
good,
those
brother.
background noises going on. So maybe I cleared that out. But
All right.
I like Tyreek Hill a lot. Kansas City. So where's he at on your list?
He's right there at number two.
All right, we're right in line. Number one, number two, CD Lamb, Dallas, Tyreek Hill, Kansas City. All right, now this guy here, Amon St. Brown, a great Amon Ross, excuse me, St. Brown, a great team. He's a young guy. Hill's a little bit older, and Lamb's still real young. This guy's 24 years old. He's on a great team. We talked about the running backs and the quarterback. They've got everything they need. They got a great defense. He is that. He's kind of that guy from San Francisco. He's kind of that guy, as we'll talk about a little later. But Odebo, but that's kind of what he reminds me of a little bit. This guy's again can do it all. He
Yep.
will. He's not. He probably won't get quite as many yards because they do. Well, they have a really good tight end in Detroit,
Yeah,
and they
they
love
do.
to run the ball. So he's going to get a lot of yards. He'll get touchdowns, but on this list, it's really tough. I could easily move Jefferson up in front of him. And in fact, I think the only reason I don't have Jefferson in front of him is because we're not sure about the quarterback, just exactly how that's going to work out with the change. And so
Yeah, I agree with that, Dave. But as far as talent goes, I got Jefferson ahead of him. I got Jefferson in third and him in fourth.
well, you can't go wrong there. I think these are a flip flop. You could do that.
Yeah.
Very easy to do. So yeah, I
We're
don't
still
have either
thinking the
one of them.
same exact way, though.
Oh, there's no doubt, man. There's no doubt. I've got Garrett Wilson for the Jets. The problem is there again, is Rodgers going to be healthy? But I got to say, Wilson did good on his numbers last year, even having backup quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I mean,
that shows his talent. With backup quarterbacks, he's still producing like he don't have a backup. That's great.
yeah, I mean, again, I could easily slide Nakua right there in front because he does have a much more. I mean, Rodgers, we just don't know. Rodgers is a Hall of Famer, but is he going to be healthy at 40? If he's in
Right.
there,
He might stretch that thing again, and it might not hurt or something. I don't know.
well, and the same thing with Atlanta. But the problem is the Jets, they don't really have a backup, man. It's Rodgers or bust. I mean, it's just not
Right.
been good.
And they should have done something about that.
They really should have. And so this is a risky one to have him at 5. The talent's there. But obviously, I think in this case, I might move Nakua up ahead of Wilson. I just my own belief. And I'm a Wilson guy. He's on my team. And you got number 7 there, Chase. We'll get to him in a minute. Again, you got to have the healthy quarterback, but he has the talent to be in the top 3. But this is a real hard. Like I said, this is a deep class of receivers.
It
I think
is.
you go Nakua 5 easily, and Wilson. May even put Wilson at 7 and move
Yeah,
Chase
I
up.
got Nakua at 5, Dave. We're on together so
Yeah, we're
far.
together. So who's your 6? Who you got at 6?
Uh, Brown for Philly.
Okay, well, again, I've got him, and all these guys right here. This is you can't go wrong with any of them. All these guys are number one receivers. Every single one of them.
Yeah,
I have no problem with that. Brown is a guy as I look at. I think the risky one here. He showed he's going to still go get numbers, but I think if Rogers is dinged at all and misses time, Wilson slides down this list a little bit, and I
yes,
think he could slide all the way down to number 9 or 10. I mean, he's if Rogers is healthy, he's going to go to him a lot. He'll be fine, but there is a risk move here if you make him your number one
yeah,
because of that. And there is no, I don't think there is a solid backup. Not they needed to, they're going to have to fix that.
yeah.
So Wilson then Nakua or Nakua then Wilson. You've got Brown at you said 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, 6. I'm sorry. You
Then
have
Wilson at
Brown at
7,
6, Wilson at 7,
and
and
Nakua
who's
is before them.
okay? So again, you could flip flop any of them. I think that
Yeah,
you could just flip flop any of them, and I think that you would be fine either way you go with that. So I like Brown. He always gets his yards. He always gets the catches. He could be
yeah.
almost silent for a little while in the game, and next thing you know, he ends up with 180 yards.
Right.
Because of their talent, he won't get as many catches on that team. So that drives him down the list, not because he's not as talented, just because I don't think he doesn't have the opportunity to get as many catches. In fact, I've seen him frustrated in games that they're not going to him more. Those big guys, they want the rock, man.
Oh yeah,
There's a little bit of chirping that's went on there, and Hertz has had to kind of navigate through that because they've got so much talent. You got Devontae Smith in there. You got tight ends. There's a lot of people to feed, and
yeah,
so Brown is the number one, but there's times where his numbers are down a little bit. He'll explode though. He'll just knock it out of the park. Well, number 9 on this list, Cook, and I know this is how old we're getting. We
yeah.
drafted his daddy. We drafted his daddy, and one of the greatest mistakes I ever made, I think, was trading that guy in a trade. I never got him back till his late in career, but I did have him, and then I forget who I traded with to get him and what I got. But it was another great player. But I live to regret that trade.
Yeah,
That year you had a bunch of young talent coming out, kind of like this year, and Harrison really rose up, Hall of Famer. But his son is on the clock now,
yep,
and well, we've seen what he can do in college, and
yep,
he makes all the catches. He's got the moves. He's got the speed. Maybe might want to bulk up just a little bit, but as I say that, Devontae Smith is still kind of toothpick thin in his legs, and he gets it done. So he'll be fine. Arizona, if the quarterback there that we ranked last week, if he's going to move up, it's going to require Marvin Harrison Jr. to have a big year. So
oh yeah,
um, I think there's a possibility, but I'm not sold on Arizona. They're building. They're kind of they took some hits, got some draft picks, but
yeah.
uh,
It's gonna be fun to watch him work.
it's going to be so exciting to watch him
I
work.
actually got him just out of the top 10. I got him number 11.
Well, because he's a rookie, I think that's safe, man, to put him there. Make the rookie earn it as well.
Yeah,
So some of the projections have him doing 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns in 95. CBS has that, and I would take that. I mean, I would take
yeah.
that. Well, we
Absolutely.
got we got another guy. He's still fairly young, 31. Devontae Adams, of course, was Green Bay for so long. He's now obviously the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah,
Um,
I got him
I don't.
10, right above
Okay,
Harrison.
I think all this. I think we're just all on the right track, man. I think we just see it all the same.
Yeah.
Another guy that gets a lot of catches. His yards might be down a little bit just because Cook. I'm just not sold that their offense is going to be that good.
Who?
Las Vegas. You
Oh
know,
yeah, no, no, no.
their quarterback
He's a
situation is
great talent in a bad situation.
so he don't deserve to be any higher because of that. And
Yeah.
that situation could turn ugly if the quarterbacks falter.
Oh yeah, real ugly. He'll get
Yeah,
mad too.
well, he'll get mad, and Adams, who knows, man, he might end up being a trade a trade late season or something if things go bad. But that's
Yeah.
a good spot for him.
Yep.
Another one of those young receivers, Cook, that came out, the Ohio State, I believe he was Ohio State, wasn't he? Chris Olave,
Yeah.
New Orleans. I hate he went to my bitter rival, the New Orleans Saints. But boy, I respect this kid. That guy is super slick on the field, man. He can his route running rivals anybody, I think, and
Yeah.
he has great hands as well. Um, you know, he's a guy here that could crack in the top 10, depending on how things go in New Orleans. He could crack in. It's tough, but I could see him doing that if somebody falters there. Olave would be one of them. What say you, Cook?
Well, I might be a little of my heart. I know he's a good talent. I don't even have him on here. I don't know. I just something don't click with me for him.
Well, they've had a rush of injuries as well on that team. They've been up and down. They've been I mean this guy's still very very young. He's only 24. He's I mean he is I mean he was a breakout really last year. I mean he only disappeared in I'll say 3 games. The rest of them, he really was very consistent. And week 16, he just killed it. But he ended up last year with 1,123 yards, 5 receiving
That's good.
touchdowns, 87 receptions on 138 targets.
Well, that's good.
They're projecting that to stay pretty close to that, with
Yeah.
maybe a couple of touchdowns more. So, um,
We,
so if
me
he
and you
does,
root so hard against him, for the Falcons. I just don't have nothing for him right now, but I might next year or something, or after
oh
this
yeah,
year.
well. This one is a great player. He's got a Hall of Famer throwing to him. That's Cooper Kupp.
Yes, sir.
Cooper's had some injuries, missed some time, but when he's on Cook,
He's
nobody
on.
can stop him.
Yeah, I got him ninth.
Yeah, and he's going to have to stay healthy to justify that.
Yes,
Last
he is.
year he had injuries. He really fell off from the year before. And last year he did have 95 targets, but he only had 59 receptions. That's a joke. But that's because he
Yeah.
missed time. 737 yards receiving. He could double that.
Oh yeah.
And 5 touchdowns.
With him
Um,
and Akua on the field, they help each other.
oh yeah.
If one of them's double covered, the other one's going to be wide open. I mean, a lot of the time.
Yeah. If he stays healthy, his catches are going to go way up. His
Yes.
receptions and target, and he will get more yards. I mean, he'll crack the 1,000 yards for sure, even with Nakua there.
I got a question for you,
He's
Dave.
just got to stay healthy. Yeah, go ahead.
Just off beat for a little bit. Where do you rank Debo Samuels?
Well, on this list, he's 16, but man, that could he's one of my climbers. He's one that I see climbing. Um,
Yeah.
uh, it's just where I've got him right now because they've got a lot of talent on that team, and they do a lot of different things with Samuel. He's a great age. He's 28. He really does get a lot of targets in different ways. So this is a guy that's going to get rushing yards as well as receiving yards. So you put all those
Yeah.
together, and the touchdowns that he's going to generate off of that, he could easily be a top 10 guy. There's no doubt. It's
Yeah.
just again, there's only one rock to go around, and you worry about you know uh, games where you kind of I ain't gonna say disappear, but the numbers really fluctuate. And if you
Okay.
look at
Go
Samuel's
ahead.
last year, he disappeared 5 total games, and I think that was an injury. He started
Yeah.
off a ball of fire, then he really went off the map, but he closed really strong except for the last game. Of course, they were in the playoffs, so that's the reason. But in weeks 13 and 14, he just killed it, man. I mean, he just killed it. He had for our league, he was over 46 points, 46 and a half both weeks in a row.
Yeah.
That is killing it for a receiver, man. I'll take
Yeah.
that anytime, man.
I remember when I
Anytime.
drafted him, I thought I was lucky to get him at the price I did.
All right, Cook. A little drum roll here. Da, 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 da. You know, I know that didn't sound like a good drum. I need to get me a sound effect on here. This is one. This is one, Cook, that this is my breakout candidate, but it's so hard because, well, it's my beloved Falcons, and they tend to
Yes.
blow up. And the is the quarterback he's healthy now? Is he going to stay healthy? You just wonder about that. But Drake London catches everything that comes his way pretty much. He scared me today. He left practice, but they said he just overheated. Um, I like London, man. He's a confident guy. He's a team player, and I like him. And he is my 2024 breakout candidate. I can say that. I can't even draft him. The guy that has him, I tried to trade for him. He's not going to trade him.
Yeah.
I should have got this guy at the draft when I had the opportunity. I didn't. I'm paying for it now. Although I've got a great receiver core, I'd love to have this guy.
Oh yeah.
London. I'm going to make the prediction. London is going to crack in the top 10, and he will have more yards and points than Marvin Harrison Jr. That's my prediction. He's going to climb
Woo!
in there. He'll be ahead
Good
of
prediction.
Adams. He's going to be ahead of Adams, and I think he's got a possibility to be ahead of Wilson. Wilson's going to fall some, I think, because I'm not sold that the quarterback's solid. I'm going to put Drake London at a solid number 9. Number 9, I believe that's where he's going to climb to. As long as he stays healthy and the quarterback's good, there's some risk there. But when this guy plays, he produces, and he's got great hands, and he's also a really good route runner. I like Drake London. He's one of my 2024 breakout candidates to climb up the list. So, I say breakout. I mean, he's known, but he's not really put it all together. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
that's the problem I have. He ain't put it all together.
well, and I think what's going to help him. Well, 2 things. One is a new coaching crew that is going to come in, and it's that LA Rams. Really, it's going to be their offense. We know what that can do.
Oh yeah.
And my other breakout candidate when we get to tight ends, it's Pitts. Pitts is going to rebound and have a killer year as a tight end. He's going to climb up the list.
He's
And
got
these 2
everything he
guys,
needs to do what he's got to do. If he can just get everybody else
that's it.
around him to do it,
That's it, man.
he's going to be a great tight end, man. It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. I mean, he dealt with injury. He's a year removed from that injury, or a little more. And this guy is they're going to feed off each other. It's a great tandem. And they've got enough other help that they'll be fine. I'm telling you, London is going to climb here. All right. Where do you have London, by the way? Do you have him on your list at all?
Nope, not yet. He's got to earn it for me, bro. I know you like him, and he
I
is a
know.
good talent, but it's got to all come together.
He's got to prove it. I know.
Yes, sir.
And Atlanta's got to prove it. Atlanta has to prove what they're made of. They're metal. Can they I mean, because look at all the close games they had last year. Games they should have won, even with quarterback disarray. Man, there was 5 games that they could have won that they lost
Yes.
very close. So you just got to think that they're going to be much better. I think the Atlanta offense is going to shock some people. It's going to take pressure off the defense. Defense have played better. Yes, they still got a couple things they need to fix on that defense, but I think offensively they're going to be much better. And because they got Bijan Robinson in the backfield. I'm telling you, man, the trifecta, man, the super 3.
Yeah.
And as long as the quarterbacks get the rock there to them, they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, you're going to be fine, Dave, because good grief, you got one of the best running backs in the National Football League, bro.
Yeah, he's top 3 for sure right now. I believe that. I would like to see him do a little more in the catching area. He
Yeah, a
could
little bit.
he's got to improve on that a little bit, but he has got that start full speed. I
Well, he
mean,
made a heck of a catch last year.
oh yeah,
Wow, that was amazing.
yeah. He just needs to improve that a little bit more because that puts pressure on the defense when they get balls to him like that.
Oh yeah.
Um, Even some misdirection things, and who knows, Matt? Maybe he could throw the ball a couple of times in the season, so you never know.
Oh yeah.
But in speaking about Atlanta, and I don't wish any bad, but I just got this gut feeling that the backup quarterback at some point in the season is going to come in, and the new look Atlanta Falcons is going to be seen. And I'm not saying that the starter won't get his job back, but I think you're looking at a young nucleus of talent that right now we need that veteran. Yeah, they gave him a lot of money, but I'm telling you, I don't think he's there but 2 years, man. I
That's
think
the
the
best
backup.
situation that new quarterback could ask for is get that man that's been
Oh
there and
yeah,
done it and threw for thousands of yards, and he can tell him things that we don't even know what he can tell him.
he's gonna mentor him up, coach him up. I think by year 3, this guy's the starter. And watch out, this is going to be. I'm they probably need to add maybe one more receiver.
I'll say
Uh,
2 years.
I say 2 years. I say that, but I think he's going to come in and play a game or two because I just think quarterbacks get dinged up,
Well, I
and
mean, Cousins is old, man. He had a major injury.
he is.
You don't have
He is.
feels when you get a little older, and then things hurt worse than they used to.
So the numbers for the quarterback will dip. That's why I didn't move him up in the top 15 as far as the
Yeah.
quarterback. But I'm telling you, when that guy comes in, the fans are gonna. He's gonna have to grow. But I think
Oh
they're gonna
yeah,
look
I
at
can't
this.
wait to see him. Oh,
They're gonna
everybody's
look at
so
this
excited
guy.
about him. It's got me excited.
What was that? What was that? That oh my goodness, the Rams back when they were in St. Louis, the greatest show on turf.
Yeah,
I think in a couple of years you might be saying that about Atlanta.
yeah, I hope so, Dave.
I
It's
really, really
way
do, man.
overdue, bro.
I
It's way
love
overdue.
what they're doing.
You got things going in that direction. That's for sure.
All right, I'll put my Atlanta Falcons fandom here to the side for a minute. Okay, London Pittman is a really good young player. I'm just not sold on Indianapolis all the way. He kind of scares me because I just even though they've got Taylor, they've got some great pieces, but Indianapolis. Pittman could fall here, I think. I would be more comfortable putting Nico Collins up above him because I think Houston's a team on the rise and they're loaded. And I just think that Pittman might fall a little bit from 14. Not that far, but look at the talent that's sitting behind Pittman. I don't see him holding on to 14. I really don't.
No,
Uh,
I've got Evans ahead of him. Amari Cooper, which I was so mad at. I cut him, and you got him.
and then I traded him.
For the 49ers, Ayuk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, Waddle. I got a lot of people ahead of him. Calvin Ridley.
So Pittman's probably a faller here. If he proves it, he proves it. But I think he's a faller. I think he's going to fall down this list.
Yes,
Um,
we agree.
I like him. He's a great young talent. But
Yeah,
I feel like
but for the
he's
talent
not
we're
going.
talking about, he's not there. Not to be.
That's what I think. I like Collins in Houston. Like I said, I'll just reiterate: Houston has got great things going on with that team. I love it, man. I know you're a Cowboy fan, but I
Yep.
got to tell you, there may be a new sheriff in town, man. The Texans are coming on. Jerry better hold the line. They have started putting together a really good looking team product on the field over in Houston, man.
Yeah. They got what's his name? Diggs.
But
They got Diggs.
yeah, they got Diggs. They've got some other talent. Of course, they've got one of the great young quarterbacks that's coming in. Their defense is already there. Dallas is still
Now Diggs
ahead
is
of them,
not
I
washed
think.
up. Diggs still a good player.
Oh, he's great. He dipped a little bit on his numbers.
Yeah, but
Uh,
he's gonna be all right. And look at this guy he's got throwing to him now. That's shoot.
well, yeah,
That's a
no
good one.
doubt. That's a great one. And
I wish I'd have got him. I didn't realize he was that good.
well, Of course, I watched the game between Georgia and Ohio State, and I said Stroud's going to be on my team. So I thought,
Yeah, I know it.
thank goodness he didn't beat my beloved dogs. But I said, I'm not going to have this guy going against me in the fantasy football. I'm going to go
I hear
get him,
you. He was
and I
wise
did,
too.
and I did. So, but Nico Collins, really like this young guy. Another one that maybe came on a little bit. Some people might have been a little surprised. He's 25 years old. He had a 2 or 3 games where he kind of disappeared, maybe 4. But when he was on, man, he topped the 40-point mark 3 times last year and twice over 30. So he has
Yeah,
shown the ability to be explosive.
that's what we call a fantasy stud.
Yeah, so he's going to move up ahead of Pittman, I believe. And I'm not trying to crack on Pittman. I think he's a
I'm
great
not
young
either. I just
talent.
don't think he's there yet.
He
He might not ever get there.
But he's hey, and I like Gardner Minshew, but
He's
come
tough.
on, he's not the guy. He's not the. I mean, he's solid,
He's
and
a
so
warrior.
Nico he is. Nico will have some, but he's. I don't think. I think his numbers will be for Pittman.
Well,
Not
he's done
Pittman.
been there and done that. He's not gonna shock the world or nothing. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just think that Minshew with the numbers are going to suffer for their receivers and stuff a little bit, a little bit. All right, 16, Debo Samuel. Man, what do you say
Love it.
about this guy, man? It's another, again, they're loaded. That's your guy. You got him.
Oh yeah,
He's a little older, 28. He did disappear a few games last year due to injury, but Cook, he topped the 40-point mark twice as well, and 30 points. He topped 3 times last year as far as our league scoring, several times over 20. He's going to get you what you need. He'll move up this list as well.
yep.
Um, Absolutely. I don't know how much, but I think
I
he's
got
gonna.
him 13th on mine. They got
Yeah,
him 16. I got him 13th.
I could see him being 14, 13, somewhere in there when this is over. So I like Samuel. Of course, your Alabama boy at number 17, Smith out of Philly. Again, they're loaded. They've got all this talent. That's 2 Philly guys in the top 20 here on receivers, man. And he deserves it. He's a big play guy. He runs great routes. He learned that at
Yeah,
Alabama. Great hands. He's a little small in his legs. Kind of worries me for things, but maybe he's
yeah,
just fast enough and quick enough to stay out of bad hits. But he works the outside a lot, but he'll go over the middle if he has to. Um, Probably deserves to move up a little, but the problem is you do have Brown. That hinders his numbers a little, so I don't see a big move. But the guy behind him, I could see Evans if our old Oklahoma boy can hold the line. Evans is the guy that, I mean, really honestly, Evans even at his age has the talent to be in the top 10.
he
He is a
does. He's
he's
got
a
1,000 yards every year, man. That's something to do right there. That's good.
yeah, he's still just 30 years old, dude. It's hard to believe that he's been
Yeah,
in the league so long. This guy, he really dominated last year. He only had 1 game over 40 points, but he had 1, 2, 3, 4 over 30, and then 3, 4 over 20. He really didn't disappear, but 1 game, and it may have been
yeah,
the bye, but he had 1 game where only got 7 points, and I think that was probably
yeah.
a loss for them. And they made sure they got him the ball a lot more after that. But Evans
Right.
will move up the list. He gets a lot of receptions. He's really good at, but he's one of the best, dude, at going down the field and just catching that deep bomb one handed and stuff. I mean, the guy, he just catches everything that comes his way. I
Yeah,
saw him 1 game last year where he had like 2 or 3 drops, and everybody's like going, "What's wrong with this guy, man? He catches everything. He's like a net, man. He catches everything that comes his way."
yeah.
I've always liked Evans. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, he's smart. He knows how to get his edge, get separation,
He
and he's got
does.
great hands. What more do
I
you
got him
want?
14th. I got him 14th.
I think that's fair. I think he could be up in that anywhere from 14 to 16 area. Cooper, Cook, I don't know on this one. Cleveland just bugs me. Cooper will have some games. but I'm going to make a prediction that Cooper slides down this list a little bit. Not
Yeah.
much because we are at the back end of the 20. He might fall outside the top 20. Not far, but I just think
I got him at 15.
you do. It's higher than I'm going to put him. I just think that I just think it's going to be hard for him to have consistency on that team. He'll have games where
I
he
think
blows
it's got
up.
to do with the quarterback, believe it or not. I mean, that's a quarterback's got great talent, but he don't never seem to get in rhythm and click like he should.
Well, and that's the thing. We covered quarterbacks. That's what I was talking about. Is this guy going to show back up and be the guy that we know he can be? He didn't
Well,
show
if
it
he
last
don't,
year.
that's going to hurt the team bad.
It will hurt the team, and the pressure is on. So Cooper is a great talent, but he's risky.
Yeah,
Another Bama guy, risky though. I say risky. He's still a great talent. We're talking about top 20. I mean, I think he falls just outside of it. At
yeah.
number 20, we've got Moore for Chicago. Of course, they were bringing in talent to group up with their rookie quarterback. He's 27 years old. He's at a primo age. He's the number one receiver for them. But I got to be honest, this is a little risky in some ways because he is a rookie quarterback, and there were games last year where he had a great season, but there were some games where he didn't really produce. He was fairly consistent. He did have one blow up game last year. He got 59 points, dude.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's got the talent. He definitely deserves this spot. He could move up. He's definitely ahead of Cooper for me. But that quarterback, that's risky because you just never know with a rookie, man. I know he's throwing dimes in camp, but wait till the season starts and let me know. In fact, I'll move Diggs ahead of him. I'm sorry. I just think Diggs is ahead of
Oh
Cooper
yeah,
and
big.
Moore.
Yeah.
Diggs is a great talent still. He's gonna be fine. There's no problem with
I got
him.
Diggs 8.
I will say this about Diggs. He does sulk a little bit. If things are
Yeah,
not
he
going
does.
his
He's got
way,
that.
he pouts a little bit.
Stuff.
His ego is so much that he thinks, man, I've got to be the number one guy every game. Sometimes, and by the way, he had some bad games last year where he dropped some passes. Um, I think that's what made it easier for Buffalo to. I think there was conflict between him and the quarterback. So Diggs was allowed to get out of town. Houston says, "Hey, we'll take him. You got it." And man, they're loaded. So Diggs is going to move up the list. I think. I just think it's a better situation for him, and maybe a new start will help him in a great way.
Right.
All right,
Okay, Dave. I want to say one more thing.
go right ahead, man.
Marquise Brown is at Kansas City.
Yep.
My goodness. Plus, they got that speed guy they drafted. Kansas City Super Bowl again. Unbelievable.
Well, I've got them right there, but I've picked Baltimore to
I
go.
know. I
But
know. Baltimore's tough.
I'm rooting for Kansas City. Don't get me wrong, but I think
I know.
Baltimore is going to prove it this year. I think with the addition of Henry, and I just think Jackson's going to put it all together. He had a bad game in the playoffs, not horrible, but not great. It cost them enough, and they've got to get over that. But hey, who
Yeah.
wants to pick against Mahomes? I don't.
No, I'm not. Not since he's got these receivers like that. They're liable to do better than they ever did with Tyreek Hill.
Well, they have a lot of young, fast talent. They've got a guy sitting on that team who's never been able to put it for health reasons. If Ross could ever get it back like he had at Clemson, wow.
Yeah.
He's a Michael Evans top receiver, big,
Yeah.
strong, fast. But he's kind of hid. They've got a couple players that's kind of an enigma. They've gotten in some trouble. It's just, can they put it all together? I don't know, man. Well, let's look down here at what the guy that I always like to put right behind the 21st position. I've got this guy where I had him. I traded him. Love him still. Seattle's quarterback situation is up and down, but Metcalf is a human cheat code.
Yeah.
Man, this may be the strongest receiver and one of the strongest players in all of the NFL. Man, this guy, he's like Henry. Man, if you put Henry and Metcalf together, I mean, you could take on an army. These guys are just sculpted in their body, their features, and everything. But Seattle, the problem is the fact that he's, the Seattle situation at quarterback isn't settled there. We'll see. Um, Projections have him, doing okay, just barely eclipsing 1,000 yards. He's going to get a lot of targets. He always does.
Yes.
He's got to get his catch rate up. His catch rate is not great. In 23, he had 119 targets. He only caught 66 of those. He's got to
Oh
do
my
better.
goodness.
That has to improve, or he won't climb the list at all. So you can't just go with the yards. You got to make those tough catches, keep the drive going. He had a drop problem a little bit last year. I don't have the number in front of me, but there were games where he dropped some that were be touchdowns. Man, I mean they were just there.
Yeah, I seen that.
Two more, of course. I think you had Ayuk up in the top 20. Another San Francisco guy. Man, they're starving for receiver help, right?
Yes.
I mean, San Francisco, they got the running back. All Purdy's got to do is make sure he gets the ball there. I mean,
all he's got to do is be smart.
Yeah, be smart. Get the ball around to the studs.
Get it out quick.
Yeah. Now, if Baltimore's going to win it all, Zay Flowers has to continue to have the kind of games he was having last year, Cook. And I really liked this kid. I started to draft him. Of course, one of our fellow league owners did. He had a really nice year last year for a rook. He was targeted 100 times. He did bring in 77 of them, which was better than Metcalf. 858 yards, 5 touchdowns. That should bump a little bit. He should be bumping towards 1,000 yards. And everything else should stay pretty close to the same. He's consistent, but if Baltimore's going to win it, him and Jackson have to be synced in together. They have. I think if I remember right, Flowers and him got off in that playoff game just a little bit. Wasn't it Flowers that had the big fumble? God, I'm going by memory. I don't have it in front of me.
Remember.
I think it was, man. It was like a killer for him. But somebody that's listening, let me know. I'm just going by memory, and memories can be fading. So I've got. Is there somebody you don't have on that you have? I don't have on this list in your top 20 or 22 or so. I think you had somebody.
Worthy, the rookie for Kansas City. I got T. Higgins, Godwin, and Brown for Kansas City. That's my last ones.
Worthy is, man, that's another one, man.
Tues.
What a talent, man. He's one of those guys in a couple of years we could be top 10 talking, I tell you.
It's so hard. I got some great receivers just like you do, but you kind of want to get rid of one of them so you can try to get one of these other ones.
The college teams are just kicking out tremendous talent at wide receiver. And really, this goes all the way back to before high school. These guys are really getting ready. They're going to these camps and stuff. The running backs too, but the receivers seem like to me, they have really just they're exploding all over the place. Every team has multiple great receivers, it seems like, especially in the SEC. You go in the ACC, some of the other teams out there, definitely West Coast. They've got speed players. I mean, that's where something like Cooper Kupp, some of them, when you think about them. But it's fun.
Got, Marquise Brown 12th, and I put Chase already 20th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a gamble. That's a gamble, Cook.
I know, but hey, Marquise Brown has got one of the best quarterbacks in the game.
He does. But again, is Burrow going to stay healthy? There's some things there. I wouldn't have dropped him that far, but he has the talent to be top 3. But there's it's going to be fun to watch how this plays out, Cook. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. When you going
to have a way to watch football in your studio, or are you just going to have it in your house?
Oh, I'll have a way to watch. Don't worry. Yeah,
I'm just wondering. I like to come there in your studio and watch the game.
Oh, you're already. We're gonna have it all set up. I was actually just talking with Josh today about about the new studio. What I want to do. We're all game planning. There's going to be definitely a visitor chair for visitors to come. I expect you to be there. We'll have games
Well,
played.
I got a little black metal chair I can bring. That ain't no problem. I'll sit
Uh,
somewhere. I'll be there. I'll tell you.
we're and me and you. That's going to be draft central for me and you.
Oh
I
yeah.
hope I can have it done by the draft time. It's going to be close.
Well,
Um,
just do what you can. There's
but
always a
but
next year.
yeah, but we're definitely going to have it by the winter. I hope to have it in the fall. We're just getting all the materials, getting things together. We've already done some work. We got more work to do. I'm excited about it. This will remain a backup studio for me because, and let me drop this down. This is going to be a backup studio because we do have a metal roof, and if it's pouring down rain, you probably wouldn't be able to hear us, So, um,
We still
but if the weather's
recording.
good, and we'll have our studio set up and the Southern Fried Podcast
Oh yeah,
command
we're still
post,
recording.
at least the command post north. We've got North and South Georgia. Hey, I'm glad you're on here, man. We're gonna look at tight ends
I'm
next
gonna be
week.
here from now on, Dave. Do my best to, as long as nothing
Yeah,
happens.
you are the sports crew, man.
Yeah,
you're
we are.
Cowboy Cook,
Yeah,
and we've been doing it a long time, and we have fun with it. And some people might disagree with us, but I'm gonna tell you what, we've always
that's
been winners
okay.
in our leagues. We've
That's
always
right.
been winners. We've got a plan, and we stick to it, and it has played out more than it has not. I'm gonna tell you,
That's true.
we're definitely going to, and we won't just do fantasy. We're going to be looking at, again, some other things. We'll talk about the actual games themselves of college and pro. Uh, we're just getting set up. We're just getting our sports programming going. There may actually be a second sports show, so we're not too long on one. We may have to split it up and do college and pro,
Yeah.
and then throw some other things in there as well. Appreciate those that have watched the programming. Definitely give us a follow and a like on Facebook and a sub on YouTube. We're on all the streams. We got a couple we're still setting up, but we're on X real strong now. Some of the smaller stuff we load on, like the TikTok and stuff. But you go to Facebook, YouTube, and X, Rumble. We're all there. Everything goes up, and there's more being added. Parlor. We're out there on Truth. We're out there on Getter. You can find us, and we appreciate so much everybody that's following us. There's a lot of programming. We're pushing like 20, 22 programs a week, different
Yeah.
sizes, but Cook, this is our corner of the world, the sports
Yes,
corner.
sir.
So uh, hope you and the family are doing well. We want to say,
We're hanging
to
in there.
everybody out there, to have a great week. We'll see you next time for the tight ends, and we're just excited to be here and be a part of your day in whatever way it is. The good things are, we're doing lives now, but there's recordings as well. You can go back whenever and catch up if there's a particular episode. We're trying to put some descriptions there that'll help you with that. There'll be playlists and different things. We're working on all that right now. There's a merch store that's coming. We'll have to have the SFP sports hats and stuff. We haven't got those in yet, but that will definitely happen as well. Cooks, good to see you. Let me get
It's
my
good to
overlay
see you,
up.
Dave. I love you, man, and God
Yeah,
bless.
stay on here just a minute. I'll talk to you after we come off the air here. But
Okay.
let me just get our out music, and we'll just say goodbye, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Okay, salute.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.